Welcome, Shawn, Barron.
Well, thank you. I mean, I already feel like I got a warm welcome here. The last set before, we had kind of a nice little grunge theme going on. It's kind of weird, though, if you grew up in the early 90s, the music you nostalgically look back to that kind of warms your heart. It's all Nirvana and Pearl Jam. I mean, I just can't... These kids today, they've got music that's all about happiness and falling in love. And, you know, if you grew up in the 90s, can we get back to the good old days of my childhood when all the songs are about suicide and cancer and eating people's soul out? That was the real music that really filled an optimistic childhood. But I'm doing pretty well tonight. One of the reasons I'm very happy is it seems like the winter is possibly ending, although what it seems to me, as it's been a lot like through winter, is it's kind of towards the end of like an episode of Walking Dead or a zombie movie. Almost everything's okay, most of the snow has gone away, and everyone's like, okay, we just need to be careful now. And then there's always just a couple of people who decide to tempt fate. They walk out today in short sleeves, just start running, going crazy, and nature's like, I'm gonna get back at you. But winter has been tough on a lot of people. One of my friends, Fred, he works in sales in New York, and he keeps coming to me every week. We're having a beer, we're relaxing on Friday, and he's just like, Shawn, I just can't take it anymore. I just can't take it. It's every week. No matter what happens, I keep failing to hit my target. And I'm like, you gotta relax, man. It's really easy. Next week, you just need to look at your boss through the scope on your rifle. So I think we have a couple, at least a few people can all relate to being in a boss experience like that, not really being a fan. For any of you who can't relate to that boss experience, I want you to look to someone who has an alcoholic drink in the room, and they'll probably be able to explain it to you very quickly. But I think the reason that I was never able to really deal with bosses is probably because my first experience with boss wasn't work. Like a lot of people in my age bracket, you know, grew up in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. Your first experience with a boss wasn't with work. It was probably related to video games. The boss, you know, you're playing a video game, and then all of a sudden you encounter a boss. This mysterious, disgusting, mutated creature that's a bizarre monstrosity compared to everything you've encountered before, and it's blocking your path of progress. And just like a boss in a video game, when it came to a boss in real life, I would spend days and weeks trying to figure out the necessary strategy to kill my boss. Thank you. So, but what's the alternative? You know, if you don't have some job where you have a boss you hate, you know, a lot of very successful people, they always come with the excuse, hey, there's lots of companies that were founded out of people's garages. There's lots of people who started out with the trunk of their car. You know what kind of businesses are found in garages? Meth labs. Walter White started his business in a garage. Or the other one. Sorry, it was a joke. The other thing you always hear is that out of the trunk of a car. You know, I can just imagine it. It's like Nike. They always say Nike was started out of the trunk of a car. Phil Knight. Yeah, Phil Knight started Nike out of the trunk of a car. He drove around Oregon hitting people. When he knocked them over, steal their shoes. Scary Nike Corporation. What? So, I do a lot of traveling, and one thing that often happens is you have to end up staying in people's places who you kind of know. You know, you're always like, hey, I'm going to be in Philly, I'm going to be in New York. Okay, that's great, you can stay at my place, no problem whatsoever. And it isn't until you arrive that a bunch of weird peculiarities of the person's apartment are suddenly explained to you. I was staying at a friend's house, Bill, up in New York, about 2 weeks ago. I get there, everything's going good, and he's just like, Shawn, thank you for coming. Here's your towel. Shower's right over there. There's just one little problem. Whenever you're using the shower, you need to open the oven and turn it on up to 800. Why do I need to do that? Oh, it's no big deal. It's just that if you don't do that, while you take a shower, green slime is going to come out of the drain. What kind of green slime? Hey, I don't touch the green slime. That's why I keep the oven open. So I take my shower, all relaxed. So I finally go. We're going into the main room. He's setting up the couch for me to sleep on. Starts burning some incense, and I'm like, all right, maybe a little Jamaican party here before I go to bed. So I'm like, what are you burning all the incense for? Oh, this is to keep the wolves away. Yeah, the wolves? Oh yeah, you see, there's a bunch of wolves who live in this neighborhood, and about 2 in the morning, they start getting a fever and a desire for human flesh, and they'll start beating at everyone's window. But if you burn the incense, they don't like it too much, and they go away. So, okay, incense is burning, I finally go to sleep. Middle of the night, pow, pow, pow! What was that? That's a gunfight. A gunfight? Have you done anything? Oh yeah. You see, I put this sign on my window that said no guns past this point. But besides this, one of the other frustrations that I have to deal with a lot is I started going back to the gym this week, and whenever you sign up at the gym, you go to the first guy who's really skinny, and then he's like, oh, you want to sign up for the gym? Hold on. They like press a button, this gigantic guy comes out. It's like, so why do you want to go to the gym? I don't know, easier access to casual sex. And they always have the other questions, it's, how much do you weigh? Enough that I need to be here. Can we just leave it at that? We don't need to go in this humiliating process of all the bad decisions. Oh, how'd you get up to that? Oh, what have you been eating? Nothing good. Well, that's why I'm here. The main frustration, though, I get as a gym is you start working out, you get into shape, and you're getting used to it, and then there's somebody who just shows up in the locker room, and I've been to a few gyms and asked friends, and there is a certain guy who shows up in every locker room. Hey, how you doing over there? Working on your pecs, huh? Good shit, yeah. So, yeah, that can get a little frustrating. So, I just want to thank you for your time, and if you did enjoy my comedy, I will be trying to get a CD out soon, which I will be selling out of the trunk of my car. Thank you very much.